Hi everyone, my name is Karina, and from what I hear, I stole your job. If you're wondering what happened to your favorite sweatshirt, I stole it too. This morning, I woke up at this fancy hotel that I paid for with the money from the job that I stole. This hotel building and this fireplace was built by the immigrant workers who also stole their jobs, possibly from you. I enjoyed sleeping and waking up in these crispy sheets that were washed and laid out by the immigrant housekeeper who works mainly for tips, a job she obviously stole from you. I enjoyed my morning coffee, which I'm sure was delivered here by the immigrant workers for below the minimum wage, who must have also stolen their jobs. Soon after, I turned on my camera that I purchased at the store where the immigrant workers were so helpful and patient with me, and I started filming this video about how all of them stole all the jobs. Welcome. Just kidding! Gotcha! I really hope you got the obvious sarcasm there and you do understand that immigrants stealing jobs is a myth and data proves the contrary. There are many dangerous myths out there, and today in this video we're gonna try to debunk just a few of them and talk about how immigrants are actually good for the country. Everything I'm talking about in this video is backed up by data, and I will leave the links down below to the articles and research studies that I've used. Those are legitimate sources covering this topic. At first, just a couple words about me. My name is Karina and I am an immigrant. I came to this country 6 years ago with absolutely nothing. I had no money, no connections, no American education, nothing at all. And right now I'm sitting in the luxurious hotel where I bought my vacation, and I have a house and I have a business and I have a great job that I love. How did I get here? Was that easy? Hell no. But I am privileged, and there are people who will never get there, no matter how hard they work and how perfect they are. And every time I hear people saying that immigrants steal our jobs, it breaks my heart a little. That's why this topic is so important for me and for so many people out there that I want to talk about it today. So why are immigrants good for the country? Let's dive in while focusing on the United States of America. Contrary to popular belief, immigrants do not take jobs away from American workers. Instead, they create jobs by forming new businesses, spending their money on American goods and services, paying taxes to the government, and raising the overall productivity of US businesses. Immigrants are good for the economy, not the other way around. Like I said, I will link all the data down below, but here in this video I will talk my heart out and just explain in very simple words how I see it. Let's go through each reason why one by one. Reason number one, immigrants often take jobs Americans do not want. What happens here is that immigrants have no choice but to be go-getters. They will take any job for any money because they do not have many options. They're lucky to have one option if they do. In the charts down below that I will link, you will see how different the jobs are for the immigrant workers and American-born workers with the same level of education. While American-born worker with only high school diploma can go and get a job as a cashier at a supermarket, immigrant cannot even dream of that kind of job. Where they end up being is either farmers or maids, but they have the same level of education as American-born cashiers. In a nutshell, immigrants and American workers do not really compete for the same jobs. They rather complement each other. For example, let's look at the farm. In most cases, the farm owner, sales manager will be American-born, but the hands in the fields are all immigrants. There is also a very interesting video that I will link down below where American-born people are being interviewed and asked a question, would you go to work in the farm? And they say no, they will not, because they have better options and they can get unemployment if they're in between jobs. Immigrants cannot. Also, speaking of 2020, just to throw it out there, a lot of tax-paying immigrants did not receive stimulus checks that we all took for granted. They also did not receive unemployment benefits that so many Americans took full advantage of including the extra $600 per week. Reason number two, immigrants contribute to a job creation. It is very easy to say that, oh, I see an immigrant doing this job, an American person could be doing this job, an immigrant stole it. But this is not how economy works. When we have new population coming in, that also expands our economy and pushes it to grow. Every immigrant, every 10,000 immigrants, every million of immigrants form the whole communities here. And obviously, not only do they provide the supply, but they also form the demand. So the apartment buildings have to be built for them to live. The shops have to be there. The car services, the phone services, internet services, all these things immigrants are using just like any other human being is. And that pushes our economy to grow. Reason number three, entrepreneurship and innovation. Immigrant labor is quite different from domestic labor. Immigrants who come to the country are normally either very high skilled or very low skilled, while domestic labor is more spread out and in the middle, which makes a lot of sense. Immigrants who we see at the doctor's office as professors, tech company CEOs, those are immigrants of high skill level. And those ones are also highly motivated, and they are more likely to open their own businesses because that's what they come here for. Reason number four, even undocumented immigrants are paying taxes. Statistics says that actually about 75% of undocumented immigrants are officially on the payroll. The person gets taxes taken out of their paycheck, as all of us do. But what all of us do also at the end of the year, we file for taxes. And if our income was less than a certain threshold, we get our money back. We get a tax return. Guess what? Immigrants do not. So they pay taxes, but they do not get a tax return. That way, they put into the economy more than they can possibly take. Reason number five, immigrants contribute in tax revenue more than they take in government benefits. Just like the previous point, this makes a lot of sense because undocumented immigrants do not qualify for government assistance. They do not even have an ID most of the time. And again, even those immigrants who are eligible most likely will not do that because of fear of deportation. There is a lot of stigma around it because they come here to work and support their families. Reason number six, one of my favorite reasons, of course, cultural contribution and diversity. Immigrants bring their own food, their own art, their own culture, music to our country. They contribute vastly in our communities. Don't we all love Mexican food? Where do you think it came from? Who do you think made it for your enjoyment? And who delivered it to you? I feel like all good food is immigrants' food because what is American food anyway? French fries and onion rings? No, thank you. Oh. Reason number seven, immigration is overall good for the world. Environmentally, it is the least damaging way to grow the economy because it doesn't add to the total amount of population, it rather shifts it around from the developing countries into the more developed ones. And so when the person moves into the more developed country, their contribution there starts having more economical value. And in that way, they become more productive. And I'm speaking, obviously, from the place of privilege. I'm white, I'm able-bodied, and I'm child-free. Not everyone is. And please remember that having an American citizenship is one of the biggest privileges in the world. If you had American citizenship assigned to you at birth, you lucked out. And congratulations to you from me. Did you know that DACA recipients pay full Social Security, full taxes and everything, but they do not receive Social Security, Medicaid, or Medicare ever? And they've been living in this country since birth. How are they different from people who were born in this country and got citizenship assigned to them? Why were DACA recipients not assigned it? Why people with citizenship feel their superiority over DACA recipients? How are they different? I just wish that everyone had a little more compassion and empathy towards other people's experiences and a little less judgment. I'm gonna cry. So I would like to use my privilege today in order to speak up for those who can't. My point is, please support immigrants, please support people of color, please support people who are less privileged than you, and use your privilege to speak out for them. And of course, please subscribe to my channel. My channel will be about how to achieve everything by yourself and how you can do it too, no matter if you're immigrant or not. And some of my favorite passion topics like minimalism, sustainability, zero waste or low waste in my case. Leave me a comment down below about what you would like to hear in the future, and also if you're an immigrant yourself, please let me know down below and tell me about your experience. I cannot wait to cheer for you. And you got this. If you would like to buy a sweatshirt like this, I'm gonna leave the link down below. I would love to see more people wearing them. I proudly wear it around my office and everyone loves it. Actually, it's a great icebreaker, you know. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! What's the word? Like, just think about that.